honey badger, the one who never bows. In the Okavango, just one breath can separate life and death. If the strong always dominate, then why has this small creature never learned to bow his head? Relentless Okavango, honey badger, the one who never bows. The Okavango, the river that chooses to stop in the heart of Africa instead of flowing into the sea. Every year, the flood from the Angolan plateau turns the sunburnt grasslands into a network of canals and swamps. This is the home of birds, animals, reptiles, and the chessboard of life and death for lions, Nile crocodiles, leopards. But among those invisible crowns, there is a short, solitary warrior, without territory, without a pack, but still makes any hunter wary. The honey badger. In a land where the throne is carved with claws and red blood, the honey badger chooses a humble figure. Short, with hunched shoulders, a strip of silver fur running down its back like dry lightning on a black background. The skin on its neck and nape is thick and loose, allowing it to turn its head to counterattack even when it is tightly gripped. The outer fur is rough like armor, the inner layer is thick and elastic, lessening the weight of claws and teeth. Under its short feet are long curved claws, just enough to tear termite nests, dig deep into hard soil, and just enough to become weapons when needed. And hidden behind its deep, expressionless black eyes is an inexplicable bravery, a bravery so strong that even the ruler must retreat. On the sunlit grasslands, that instinct is more evident than any affirmation. The honey badger does not need to roar to show its power, nor does it show off its strength with massive muscles. It walks slowly low to the ground as if leaving no trace. But each step is filled with an undying belief: it cannot be defeated. Its sensitive sense of smell reads the wind like a book. With just a faint whiff, it knows there is prey hidden underground, an insect nest in a tree stump, or the shadow of a venomous snake lurking under a layer of dry leaves. With each precise dig, the earth is thrown up, and no den is truly safe from those sickle-shaped claws. In a world where strength is often measured by speed or size, the honey badger chooses a different path. It learns from every encounter, remembers every mistake, and never repeats it. Its tenacity comes not from impulsiveness, but from the sharp memory of a survivor. and even when it is stung, the honey badger rarely falls. Sometimes it just falls, faints for a few short minutes, then slowly gets up, staggering but determined, continuing the fight as if it had never been hurt. Because in that small body, nature has given a strange shield, the ability to withstand some of the venom of Africa's deadliest snakes. That is why in the harsh Okavango, the name honey badger always sounds like a warning. Small does not mean weak, and bravery is sometimes more frightening than strength. A hot afternoon. The sun poured down yellow and harsh, the dry grass cracked like scars on the ground. In the low bushes, a venomous snake's shadow slithered out. Its red tongue split in two, its cold eyes scanned the grass. Each slither was a deadly warning. At the edge of the field, the honey badger pressed its body close to the ground. Its deep black eyes did not leave its prey. The air compressed. The whole field seemed to hold its breath. A pause. The grass shook slightly. In an instant, the honey badger rushed forward. The battle began. In just a few breaths, the snake's body fell motionless. The victory was not ostentatious. The honey badger bent down, its teeth clenched, its scales rustling, and began its meal, calmly, as if the drama had never
existed.
In the sparse woods on the edge of the swamp, a clear sound rang out. The call was urgent, repeated, swirling in the air. It was the Honeyguide bird. It circled, its small gray-brown wings sweeping across the sun, then suddenly lowered, flying low in front of the honey badger. Its deep black eyes looked up. For a moment, both seemed to understand each other's signal. The bird led the way. The honey badger followed. Its steps were low, quick, and sure. Its wings were gliding. Soon they stopped before a hollow, rotten tree trunk. The sweet scent of honey wafted on the wind. The Sonora sun returns after a cold night. Roadrunners, desert runners, unlike most birds, Roadrunners rarely fly. Their short wings are only used to maintain balance when sprinting, while their real strength lies in their long muscular legs built for speed. They can reach more than 30 kilometers per h, far surpassing any other reptile on the sand. Each step is a perfect combination of speed, neatness, and precision. On its body, layers of gray-brown feathers mixed with white reflect the blazing sunlight, helping it blend into the golden sand. Its black, golden eyes constantly rotate around, constantly scanning the smallest movement on the ground. In a world full of death, the Roadrunner is not just a potential prey, it is a real predator. It eats everything it can catch: insects, lizards, small mice, and even those venomous creatures that other creatures avoid. Snakes. Its recklessness and daring make it one of the few birds that dares to challenge the rattlesnake. The deadly symbol of the Sonora Desert. Noon. The air vibrates in the stifling heat. On the sand, the rattlesnake lies motionless, its scaly body blending with the color of the earth, only its tail quivering slightly. A dry rattle cuts through the still air. In the distance, the Roadrunner has spotted it. Its eyes narrow, its body lowers. Instead of retreating, it advances. Each step is light as the wind, its feet drawing small curves in the sand. When the distance is only a few meters, the rattlesnake raises its head, coils, its hollow fangs flashing in the sunlight. A breathtaking moment. A fierce battle breaks out. In a few seconds, the fight was over. Amidst the red sand, the Roadrunner stood motionless, breathing heavily, its beak still clutching its opponent. It tilted its head, its sharp eyes reflecting the sunlight, the image of a small, bold, and proud warrior. In Sonora, the venomous one does not always win. Sometimes, speed and recklessness alone are enough to overturn the rules of the desert. A hot wind swept across the desert, carrying the traces of sand left after the fight. The Roadrunner departed, leaving behind the motionless body of the bellbear. Sonora returned to silence, only the dry whistling of the wind between the sunburned thorn bushes. From above, Above, a wide shadow swept across the sand. The air seemed to sink. The sunlight reflected off its dark brown wings edged in copper. It was the Harris hawk. The ruler of the desert sky. For all the solitary nature of a predator, Harris never goes it alone. He is a master of coordinated tactics, circling in groups of 3 to 6, sharing shoulders, encircling his prey with the precision of a trained army. In a harsh world where water is scarce and food is scarce, cooperation is the most powerful weapon. From above, glowing yellow eyes scan the desert. Below, a jackrabbit. A Sonoran hare darts between the low thorn bushes, its long ears vibrate with each heartbeat. Unbeknownst to him, 3 shadowy wings are silently closing from 3 directions. A Harris hawk swoops down. In a few short seconds, the hunt is over. The wind carries the cry to a halt, returning the desert to its original silence. In the sunlit sky, hawks circled the prize, not just a meal but a testament to wisdom and unity. Rare qualities in a land that knows only harshness. In Sonoran, the strong are not necessarily the fast or the vicious. Sometimes, domination belongs to the hunters who share the sky. Nile crocodile, a master of ambush that has existed for millions of years, almost unchanged. More than 4 meters long, weighing half a ton, it does not need to hunt. Its strength lies in its patience. It can wait for hours, even days, just for a single moment. The water's edge sways. A herd of impalas approaches, their ears twitching, their eyes darting. A footstep touches the water. The lake suddenly bursts open. That bite does not give a second chance. In the waters of the Okavango, the Nile crocodile is a hidden death, quiet, cold, but cannot escape. In the flood season, when the water from Angola overflows, the Okavango turns into a maze of canals. This is a paradise for Nile crocodiles. They hide along the reed banks, motionless like rotten logs, just waiting for prey to come near. The crocodile's menu here is not only fish. They hunt waterfowl, monkeys that come down to drink, antelope, zebras, even buffalo. With a pounce from underwater, the crocodile uses its huge muscles to jump up, bite tightly, and drag its prey into the vortex. The death roll move, spinning underwater, tearing flesh, leaving no chance for the prey. There are times when the crocodiles join forces. A group drags the buffalo carcass into the water, sharing the feast, the red mud spreading across the river surface. They don't hunt every day, but each meal can last for weeks. That's the secret to helping this ancient reptile survive the harsh, dry season. However, even though they are masters of ambush, the Nile crocodile is not unchallenged. In the same water, there is a giant, hot-tempered boss who is always ready to pounce on anyone who dares to invade their territory. If the Nile crocodile is a silent ambusher, then the hippo is a power that shows off in broad daylight. On the calm water surface, the dark gray backs stand out like round rocks. When the sun rises high, the whole herd soaks in the lagoon, revealing only their eyes and small ears above the water, motionless as if sleeping. But that's just the appearance. The hippo is an extremely territorial species. Adult males weigh more than 1.5 tons, occupying each section of the river, protecting the females and their young. As soon as a stranger enters, a fight is ready to break out. In the sweltering heat of midday, the placid surface of the lagoon suddenly explodes with a resounding roar. The dominant male confronts the intruder, a young male who has just left his mother's pack, eager to claim power, territory, and mating rights. The two giants charge at each other. The calm water becomes a boiling arena. The battle can last for hours, not for hunger but for power. Only the winner gets to keep the pack and the territory. The loser, if he survives, must leave, drag himself through the reeds, and find opportunity elsewhere. In the world of hippos, the price of territory is always paid with pain. A single bite from a hippo can crush a turtle's shell, or even bite an adult crocodile in half. In the Okavango, they leisurely bask during the day, and at night they pull themselves ashore to feed, leaving bare trails leading into the grasslands. Although they eat grass, hippos are still ranked among the most dangerous creatures on the continent because of their ferocious temperament and enormous strength. The rainy season comes, the water rises, and it is also the time when hippos enter mating season. The dominant male uses his roar and strength to keep the female herd together, each pair mating right in the murky water. After 8 months of pregnancy, the females will give birth to a 40 kilograms calf, usually right under the water, so that when it is born, it immediately has to come up to breathe. The baby hippo is weak, completely dependent on its mother. In the first weeks, it suckles milk right under the water, clinging to its mother like a shadow. The mother hippo is always nearby, ready to get angry at anyone who dares to come near. Okavango, danger never disappears. A giant and hungry Nile crocodile silently approaches the shore, where a baby hippo is playing in the water. In the blink of an eye, it lunges up and bites. The whole lake explodes. The mother hippo roared and charged like a storm. The crocodile disappeared under the water. In the Okavango, life and death are only a breath apart. The price for a crocodile's stupidity is life. But tragedy does not spare the weakest of the herd. The Okavango is harsh, where crowns change hands with every breath, and the small ones still live by grit, memory, and cold survival instinct. Here, there are no complete victories, only the persistent creatures who keep going. If you find this story fascinating, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next wild journey. Like and leave a comment which moment impressed you the most. Dawn breaks over Kruger, ushering in a fierce day of survival. A family of white lions hide in the tall grass, targeting a herd of buffalo. In the distance, a herd of impalas moves silently, alert to any danger. In the sky, vultures circle, waiting for the sign of death. When the lions pounce on their prey, the fight to the death begins, and the cycle of life and death continues. The white lion's journey of survival. In the wilds of South Africa, where the heat scorches the grasslands and the winds carry the breath of life and death, a miracle has just occurred. In a small pride of lions, 2 cubs with unusual fur have just been born. They are not the golden brown of their peers, but possess pure white fur, a rare mutation in the natural world. This is not only a rare event, but also a harsh challenge that nature has set for them. These white lions do not possess the perfect camouflage ability of normal lions, which means that from birth, they have become obvious targets on the harsh savanna. Can they overcome the dangers that always lurk to survive in a world where only the strong are allowed to continue living? Kruger National Park is not only a wild paradise, but also a life and death arena for predators. This is where lions, hyenas, leopards, crocodiles, and many other animals coexist in an endless battle for survival. No creature can let down its guard, even for a moment, because death can come at any time. On the vast savanna, a pack of hyenas is hunting for food. They could smell the difference from afar and quickly spotted one particular target, a pure white lion cub in the golden grass. Its bright white fur made it easier to spot than any other cub, but luckily its mother, Matimba, an experienced lioness, hid in the tall grass. When the hyenas approached, Matimba's sudden lunge was enough to send them running. Today the cub was protected, but will it survive tomorrow? The 2 white lion cubs did not grow up alone. They had a small but close-knit family: Matimba, a strong and protective mother; Kanya, a loyal sister; and 2 brown cousins. first months of life, the white lions had to fight for their place in the pride. The larger brown lions would often snatch food, push and shove them, but the two white lions did not give in easily. They are not afraid to fight back, not afraid to fight, and are willing to prove that they are not weak. It is the small battles within the pride that train them to survive. As they grow older, they begin to observe how their mothers and aunts hunt, learning how to move gently, how to wait patiently, and how to take down their prey with just one fatal bite. However, no matter how smart they are, they cannot hide their differences. Their white fur makes them stand out in the grasslands, a dangerous thing that can become the deciding factor between life and death. The cubs have never seen their father. One day their father disappears, leaving the pride of lionesses alone in a dangerous land. When a male lion disappears, it usually means that invaders are coming. The three strange male lions, bloodthirsty wanderers, have caught the scent of the pride of lionesses and are approaching. They are not coming to blend in, but to kill. In the world of lions, when a new male takes over a pride, he kills all of the previous male's cubs. This is to maintain his bloodline and ensure that females will come into heat to carry his litter. Matimba and Kanya understand this. They can't defeat 3 adult male lions, but they can run. And so, in the darkness, they led their cubs far from their familiar territory, into lands they had never set foot on before. From that moment on, they were no longer rulers, they were fugitives. The harsh midday sun beat down on the Kruger grasslands, turning the ground into a scorching hot zone. The lionesses moved slowly among the bushes, their tired but still sharp eyes searching for prey. The days of hunger had weakened their cubs visibly, and Matimba knew that if they did not hunt today, their chances of survival would only grow slimmer. In the distance, a herd of buffalo was quietly moving toward a small watering hole left over from the rainy season. Among them, an old male trudged along, his legs trembling with old wounds. He was the perfect target. Matimba and Kanya quickly split up, quietly closing in, using the sparse shade of the trees to hide their bodies. They had to act precisely. One small mistake could anger the herd and turn the hunt into a disaster. lion cubs, who had been hiding until now, rushed forward. They were so hungry that they did not wait for their mother's permission to pounce on the carcass, tearing at every piece of meat. Meanwhile, Matimba and Kanya remained vigilant, their eyes scanning the horizon, watching for familiar predators. This meal would last the pride a few more days, enough for the cubs to regain their strength. But Kruger was a land that never allowed anyone to enjoy victory for too long. Tomorrow, the battle for survival would resume. As time passed, the white lions grew up, becoming true warriors of the savannah. They learned how to hunt antelope, confront hyenas, and even steal kills from leopards. But the final test came. A strange male lion appeared, not to kill, but to protect. Matimba and Kanya watched him. He was strong, he was persistent, but he did not attack. He had come to build a new family. And for the first time in 2 years, the pride of white lions were no longer fugitives. They had a place to call home. The 2 little white lions were now the first adult lions to survive in Kruger for more than 2 decades. They had fought, they had run, they had fought for food, and now they had established themselves. The legend of the white lion continued, and nature continued to write its story. Under the clear skies of Kruger National Park, the blackbirds circled, their keen eyes scanning the trees and the grasslands. They were not hunting, nor were they running. They were waiting for the sign of death. Vultures, birds often considered scavengers, hideous creatures that roamed the skies with their featherless heads and piercing eyes. But in the wild, no role is meaningless. They are not lazy, but dedicated cleaners of nature. Without them, the Kruger grasslands would be littered with corpses, and disease would spread everywhere. today, a feast awaits them. A giant forest elephant has collapsed in the middle of the arid land. Elephants, the largest animals in Africa, but even giants cannot overcome time. This old elephant has led the herd for decades, but eventually his strength is exhausted. As the dry season drags on, old wounds become a burden. Hunger and thirst gradually weaken him. Finally, he collapses beside a dried-up river. His breathing becomes weak, and then it all ends. The death of an elephant is no small matter. It not only affects its herd, but also changes the surrounding ecosystem. And more importantly, it presents an opportunity for predators and scavengers. The hyenas were the first to arrive. They cautiously approached, biting into the thick skin to make sure the elephant was dead. When they realized it was no longer moving, they pounced, trying to tear the tough skin. But a full-grown elephant is not easily eaten. Even the strongest jaws cannot penetrate this thick skin immediately. It was at this moment that the shadows above began to land. The first vultures swooped in from the wound on the elephant's shoulder, where the hyenas had torn earlier. They pecked at small pieces of flesh, quickly getting inside. Once the skin was penetrated, the real slaughter began. Dozens of vultures fight over every piece of flesh, their sharp beaks tearing off chunks of skin and organs. The weaker ones are pushed out, only able to stand and wait for their chance. As the sun sets behind the old trees, the vultures continue their journey. They soar, watch, wait. Because in Kruger, death is always present. The one and the cleaners always have work to do. Morning on the Kruger savanna begins with a symphony of nature. Birds chirp in the trees, the wind blows gently through the grasslands, and the sun slowly rises. Amidst this beautiful landscape, a herd of impala quietly moves through the grassy areas, enjoying the brief peace before the harshness of nature strikes. The impala is an intermediate animal between small antelopes like the dik-dik and larger species like the wildebeest or kudu. They are medium-sized, with long legs and a slim body that helps them move flexibly through tall grass and sparse forests. One outstanding feature of impalas is their incredible jumping ability. They can jump more than 3 meters high and as far as 10 meters in a single leap, helping them easily overcome obstacles or escape predators. Besides speed, impalas have another way of surviving, living in herds. A herd of impalas can number up to hundreds of individuals, creating a natural warning system. When one impala detects danger, it will emit a warning cry, causing the whole herd to tense up and prepare to run. This instinct helps them avoid many ambushes from lions and leopards. However, they cannot always escape. And when the midday heat becomes intense, the impala herd has no choice but to seek water. But the Kruger River is not only a source of life, it is also a place of death. Thirst led the impala to the edge of the Sabi River, one of Kruger's most important water sources. The deep blue water reflected the sunlight, looking peaceful but hiding a deadly danger. Beneath the water, a giant Nile crocodile, more than 4 meters long, lay motionless. Its eyes were barely above the water's surface, watching every move of approaching prey. Impalas are always alert when drinking water. They never rush in, but usually stand at the river's edge, ears pricked up, eyes darting constantly to detect danger. But thirst is a fearsome enemy. A young impala slowly approached the bank, its legs shaking with tension. The remaining impalas were startled, jumped away in panic, and scattered into the bushes. They had witnessed the cruelty of nature. Just a second of distraction, and life was taken away. The river's surface became calm again, as if nothing had happened. The crocodiles quietly dived down, disappearing into the murky water. On the shore, the impalas had regained their composure and continued their journey. They could not stop to mourn. The wildlife did not allow that. In the distance, a group of leopards were watching from the branches, waiting for their chance. When the sun set, the lions would also leave the shade of the trees, starting their night hunt. There was never a moment in Kruger when life was not threatened. But impalas are not weak creatures. They have existed for millions of years, adapting to all the dangers of nature. They run, they jump, they fight to survive. And tomorrow, when dawn comes, the impalas will continue to move, facing new challenges. Because in the wild, there is only one rule: the strong survive, the weak are eliminated.